Hey there, Toonami faithful, and welcome back aboard Toonami Absolution, where we talk about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. Once again, we are your hosts. My name is Alex.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John. Beast Wars Episode 7, Fallen Comrades, TV debut September 30th, 1996, and Episode 8, Double Jeopardy, October 7th, 1996. Sorry, they're both 96. I don't know why I said 98 there. I'm wishing myself forward 3 years. Uh, yeah, two episodes of Beast Wars. You may notice we're doing the thing again where they're all in pairs because this is the Stasis Pod chase episodes.
Yep.
Yes, but for all of the stasis pods and betrayal and Terrorsaur also challenging Megatron again within a relatively short amount of time. We also get a new Predacon and a new Maximal in these
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, we raise bizarre questions about the nature of free will in the Transformers universe.
We get Blackarachnia and Tigatron, two very, very sexy Transformers for people out there who enjoy your robots.
Oh, it's the second episode, but I have to say, the moment where the spider decides it's going to make another spider, and Megatron is like, "I suspect you have an ulterior motive." My note I have there is Werner Herzog voice. The spider is aroused. This tells us a lot about the nature of war. It's like because even Megatron's like, "Dude, I'm your commanding." What I say about this? This is made Beast Wars Megatron is really kind of chill.
Yeah.
Like Terrorsaur tries to take over, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing anything about it. I'm just going to wait until you give up. Yeah, and then you're going to make a second spider today. Go for it, man. Who cares?
This is like 2 episodes after Megatron got wrecked, too.
And he's gonna get wrecked again. Like
they are really. Oh, go ahead.
What I like about this particular Megatron, this Megatron is very different from every other Megatron that is out there. But I like that we're now getting more of his vocal tics. We're getting more of the yes, no, that very Tim Curry vibe that this Megatron is bringing to the table. I love this version of Megatron just because of how weird he is, but I do like how he handles the Pterosaur situation, where it's like any good tyrant lets a fool take over in a crisis. Like that's ice cold, man.
Yeah, it's just funny how it's like he's just kind of calm. Also, they are really overdoing people getting scrapped because like Optimus dies twice in 2 episodes, but gets better nearly immediately.
Yeah, that happens to Optimus a lot.
Well, also I mean, there's also we also get a kind of we see I was going to say deceptive Optimus, right? He's working with Rat Trap, like
oh
on
yes,
weird like undercover setup, whatever.
yeah. Episode 8, Double Jeopardy. I'm confused if Double Jeopardy is terribly written as an episode or brilliantly written as an episode. Like I'm unsure. Like I'm unsure. Is the idea that Optimus in universe is a terrible actor, and that's why all of his dialogue, his whole plan makes zero sense, or is it just badly written?
It could be either. I mean, technically, any prime is kind of the robot pope, and the pope is not supposed to lie. So, could just be a bad actor. I like that we finally get a little bit more understanding with the role Rat Trap plays for the Autobots, because the Maximals, he's a spy. We finally get the drop that he is the Maximal spy. This is what he does, and it is very, very fun that this is that character. And then you immediately have Dinobot being like, well, guess we gotta kill him. He's a traitor, despite the fact that Dinobot is the first traitor of the show.
Yeah.
Dinobot is weird in these 2 episodes. We seem to have a character shift for him because he's much more respectful of Optimus in these episodes. And there is the weird moment where Optimus dies again, and he said, "Oh, we'll give you a glorious funeral." Rather than try to take command, his first thing is like sorting out the arrangements. But what really cool about that is he picks Optimus up, like holds him up, but then lowers him a little bit, almost like he's trying to have Optimus make eye contact with his dino chest. There's this weird tension in the air when he's doing this. I was like, oh, is he gonna like throw him down? No, it's just weird lingering chest contact.
So this is where the beauty of this is where the weird parts about Transformers are going to start to come in a little bit. The relationships between characters in every Transformers franchise get intense, and it's one of those things where it's like, with Sam and Frodo, where it's like it's definitely not sexual, but it's not platonic either. Like it's just very intense. Like that's what Transformers is. It's like it's riding the line of sexual tension while just being tense.
Transformers, tension in disguise.
What do you
I
think,
can
Sam?
only imagine what the slash fiction for this looks like.
Oh, you don't need, do you? Okay, real quick,
Don't
sidebar,
worry.
really quick sidebar. The somebody did the math on Tumblr a long time ago about how many different pairings you could get out of the Transformers fandom. And it was something to like the power of like 30. It was a crazy amount of combinations that they've thought of. And the comment on it was like every now and then the Transformers fandom rises up like a great beast from the deep to get into fandom discourse. So yes, it is quite intense. You should see what LiveJournal used to have.
Oh dear. I presume every mention of certain body parts had circuits impended to the end. That's what they do in this script every 20 minutes. It's like, oh no, my arm circuits. Like clearly the writer going, actually they're robots. We can't say that. Oh, my liver circuit is broken. Oh no.
You're squeedly spooch.
So to confirm, so do all Transformers land on the planet neutral? Then is this working on RimWorld rules? Because we seem to have a thing where Megatron could just make you a Predacon.
So they specifically are protoforms that are landing on the planet. Protoforms are in at least in this part of the continuity, they have like a predetermined programming, but it can be overridden. So it's essentially just hacking into the base form of this protoform.
I see.
Yeah.
Is that what Tarantulas did to create Blackarachnia?
Yes.
Yes.
So like there are implications that some of that maximal coding still exists somewhere in there, but when you mess with a protoform like that, you're essentially overriding its intended purpose.
Because that's what they were going to do to the tiger. They mentioned it at one point, but then they said they bounce something off the moon, and it tells him, "Hey, become a tiger, dude." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, I'll become a tiger." But then he mentions that I don't think like my identity circuits have been damaged. I'm more tiger than Transformer. Which this game, I really want now a Beast Wars character who just kind of lands on this planet and decides, actually, screw the war, I'm going to become a dog. He comes out, sees a baboon in a tree. He's like, that seems pretty chill. See you in 50 years, lads.
It is really interesting because we're going to see characters later, like Inferno, who is an ant. The ant programming, the ant thing is going to be much more active in him. Like Megatron, he refers to as his queen. Like he is doing it for the colony. So it's implied that there are certain animals that when they get like absorbed into the coding, it actually kind of overrides some stuff.
That's like Scorponok and the Tarantulas, because both of those have gone really method in this whole thing of being like, we will act as the spider at all times. Same with Cheetor, he's really into the whole being a cheetah thing. Where like Optimus is just kind of like, yeah, I'm a monkey at weekends, but not really full time. I can't dedicate myself to it full time.
Yeah, he doesn't go full. He doesn't he doesn't go method.
You see him in his bunk holding a banana going, I know I should like this, but I can't.
Yeah, it's like Rat Trap. Rat Trap's kind of the same thing on
Rat Trap eats garbage. So.
Yeah,
but he would have done that anyway, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I also like that Rat Trap could just apparently change his symbol at will, and this is just a thing that you do sometimes. He's like, yeah, okay.
See, that's really interesting because like the Autobot and Decepticon. So in the wider continuity, the Autobot symbol is soldered on, but the Decepticon symbol is a brand. So that was a big plot point for certain things. And at one point, I don't remember which continuity this was. At one point, the Decepticon brand was actually made out of your Spark casing. So essentially, it was the equivalent of someone opening you up, taking out a rib, and turning it into a merit badge. Which that was one version of this. Yeah, the Decepticons are hardcore.
How weirdly biblical.
When I said the first episode of this that this is like the Iliad and the Odyssey of fandoms, I was not kidding. Like, but yeah, the Maximals and the Predacons just seem to have the ability to like change it at will, more like it's a cosmetic. But in other continuities, that is way less of the case. It's a more like Naruto, like scratching out the symbol of your village kind of thing when you change over.
You just put on the funny hat for the group and like, okay, yeah, I'm one of you now.
So, what did you think of Rat Trap's little spy mission, though? Like, ultimately,
Still goes in the prison. Like for a spy, they still like lock him up. They're still like, yeah, but we still don't really.
The highlight for me is when Pterosaur is talking about with him. Rat Trap is in the back doing like little weird animations, like he's saluting and nodding, and it's weirdly more fluid than any other animation we've seen in this entire in episodes. I'm like, it's just really weird. Like it looks like, I'm not sure if you've ever fiddled around with like Blender or Gmod or something where you put a pre-rigged animation on a character model. It looked like that. It didn't really. It looked like they'd got it from some other mesh and just put it onto Rat Trap's body because it didn't look like anything else. Still hilarious.
Yeah.
I also like
That's
the
a
fact
good-
he sees the rat sneaking around, like the actual rat. Again, who's just having a lovely chill time. And never thinks, maybe I should just go around this base in my rat form, the smaller one that's easier to maneuver in rather than walking around as a person with a gun.
But then it cuts to Tarantulas about to eat the same rat.
It does, but I think being smaller would help with infiltration rather than being the very obvious robot. But what do I know? I'm not a spy.
Nor are you a robot in disguise.
No, neither of those things.
What about my boy Tigatron?
Tigatron.
Tigatron is cool. He's just Cheetor though with a different color palette. Apparently, the toys are repaints.
I like the blue on like blue face white, hide, tiger hide. Like,
he does look very cool. It's just so funny how he's like, we do this whole thing to save him, and he's like, actually, I'm not going to be around. My favorite thing in that first episode is that last line. I'm sure we'll see you again very soon. Like, yes, writers, we get it. Rosie can hear you.
Tigatron is such an interesting character going forward because he's essentially the Green Ranger for your Powerpuff. Wow.
Your green Powerpuff Girl.
Your green Powerpuff Girls. Like in Power Rangers, you have your core group, and then every now and then the Green Ranger comes in and does something really cool. That's really what Tigatron is going to be. Blackarachnia, however, we're going to see a lot more of.
Well, I was going to say, we do follow the traditional Sentai format of we introduce our six. They display an amazing power and kill everyone in their first episode, then get immediately jobbed the next episode. Because, Tigatron fires missiles from his wrist in this. You'll never see that move again. It's like, aha, I'm the best and strongest thing in the universe until next week, where I'm suddenly just the same as everybody else.
But then you get sexy Blackarachnia.
Blackarachnia is so funny to me because I love the fact that when they first debut her, they play a little harp run, like the woo, the noise you have in cartoons to tell the audience this is a pretty lady.
Yeah,
but it's a spider robot.
She is part of a grand Transformers Decepticon tradition that started, I believe that I can't remember what the name of this character was, but she was a ninja robot that was from the 1980s cartoon. I think her name was Night Strike or something like that. And she was made by humans, and Megatron was like, ooh, she's hotter than you, Starscream. And then Starscream immediately felt the need to kill her. And this is something that will go forward. Like, Arachnid in Transformers Prime is very much in this category of femme fatale Decepticon character, which is a wild thing to have to say.
Sorry, so if that other one was made by humans, does that mean she was literally the Smurfette of the series?
Oh, she got murdered. She was not there after that.
Like Smurfette.
Remember when that whole episode where they murdered Smurfette in cold blood?
If I recall correctly, in the book, Smurfette was made by Gargamel to distract all the other Smurfs, and I believe he does take her back at one point in the books.
I remember in the cartoon he made her too, and she originally had black hair, and then she became good, and then she became blonde.
Yes, because there's also that whole thing of Smurfs turn evil when they're black, hence the zombie apocalypse Smurf story.
But it also begs the question, like, if this is a monogendered race, what is the point? You know what? We can't get into this.
Why does she have breasts? Is the question we asked of Blackarachnia. Why? Also, I did do some looking because I love how Blackarachnia's transformation is the spider form basically vomits up the robot form.
Yep.
The toy does not do that. The toy looks entirely different. In fact, the toy is apparently a repaint of another Transformer. So, yeah, because so far you're right. I will give them credit. All the transformations do look how they look in the toys. But yeah, I saw her and said that no way this like trans. I was like watching it like frame by frame. Like no way you could do this with the toy. It's like a Rubik's cube. No, you can't.
Which is so unfortunate.
It was something I was mentioning a couple weeks ago with the Tarantulas episode. I really don't like spiders.
I was watching this with you in mind, like, oh no.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, oh man, I wish I'd known.
I knew there was a Blackarachnia Transformer, Predacon, of course. And it was just like, oh, I think it's after Tigatron, because I think they, knowing Hasbro or whoever, like I know them, they always balance the scales pretty quickly. New Maximal, new Predacon. It was just like, oh yeah, yep, Tarantulas is getting his hands on the Protoform. Okay. All right, okay. All right.
They are just making Tarantulas more and more creepy every episode, which I kind of like.
Yeah. They are.
They do it.
I was like, Megatron's is cool with it. Megatron's like, yeah, this is my friend, Tarantulon. He's a bit perverted, but he's like Goku and Master Roshi. Like when Goku takes Roshi to places, it's like, yeah, this is Master Roshi. This is just what he does. You just have to kind of live with it.
Yeah. You just have to live with it. He's not allowed within 500 feet of a school, so you are gonna have to tell us where we're going.
But don't worry, we're Transformers. We don't go to school. It's all fine.
Yeah, you see nose bleeding, move the other direction as quickly as possible.
By the way, he is a Transformer, so his nose is on his side. It's very. To say about the second episode, you will notice there are some bizarre lines that make no sense in it.
Mm-hmm.
This is because, to quote Bob Forward, who was one of the story editors of this series, he posted on alt.toys.transformers, an old message group. This episode, at the end of this episode, they say, "Oh, she's gone missing." How? She was there, then she's not. And this doesn't have any impact on the next episode either. So it's entirely dropped. But it was because it was to get her out of the way until we could intro a new Maximal to balance the sides. Because this episode was originally before the Tigatron episode.
Wow.
This is why Rhinox randomly shouts when Rat Trap turns out to be a good guy, "Told you he was no Predacon clone." Because, yeah, there is a plot point later on about Predacons being able to do cloning. But that hasn't been introduced yet, meaning that Rhinox is randomly declaring that makes zero sense in context.
Yeah, the cloning thing is going to be actually a pretty major plot point for very big swings in this show. So yeah, that actually shocked me too.
Yeah, so this episode had to come much later. Hence why we set up the idea of like getting rid of her and Rhino being weirdly like, oh, cloning.
It's also wild to me that they don't make them in order. Like that they're not making these, because especially with CG of like the mid 90s, like you would think they would do that.
I wonder if it was a toy production thing, like because I've got to presume that they made the toys first and then made the characters.
Oh yeah, I mean, like this was an issue that G1 Transformers had. Like when the main reason why the movie happened was because they wanted to make new toys. Like that is 900% why they made that movie. And that's why they killed Optimus and they killed off a majority of the cast so that they could do the new cast, right? But then that didn't work out, so they brought back Optimus. This is something that happens a lot with Transformers, especially the earlier franchises. It was so based around the toys that sometimes the show would get derailed a lot.
That's what we think about sort of Tigatron being just a direct repaint. It's like I wonder if that's why that change happened, because he was just like, we were going to make another transfer. I can't confirm this, by the way, but we were going to make something else, but then we ran out of time, just so it's like repaint the mold we have. Because the Transformers can't be that easy to design from like a toy design perspective. And you got to have all the bits twist around and not have them break off in a way children can choke on them.
I mean, if you look even at like G1, right, you have a lot of very similar character models getting used over and over again. Like my personal favorite Transformer of all time is Blaster. At the end of the day, Blaster is a redesign off of Soundwave. Like that is really what that character's design is, and he's the easiest Transformer to make. He's a boombox. They're not that difficult, right?
They're just squares.
They're just squares. They're the easiest ones. But then you have like you have Sidewinder and Sunstreak, who are the same Lamborghini model. You have like the models that are based off of like Jazz and Prowl, which are like the Praxian designs. All of the Seekers look alike. It's an interesting time period, and a lot of that is going to start shifting once we get into like that Transformers animated era. But that's also going to have its own issues with recolors.
Oh no! Oh, we
Oh
should.
no!
Oh no, it's happening.
Happening
Also,
again.
I need to point out, so Fallen Comrades has a weird plot point where Optimus dies again because this is what he wants to do with his spare time. We put him in a chamber, but Dynatron accesses his consciousness and he becomes a floating blue head for a brief period. But when he starts up, it makes what's very clearly a Windows sound. Which,
Don't you know all Transformers run on Windows 95?
I just love the idea he runs on DOS. Run Autobot.exe.
Autobot.exe has crashed. That's why we have to put you in the box.
You have got the freeware, the shareware form of Optimus Prime to get the latest versions. Please send $5 to Toronto.
Would you like to purchase WinRAR?
Always.
I just love the fact that it's so weird. Again, this show's habit of just dropping weird plot points because I don't know. They put him in the revitalization chamber. You think, okay, surely he could talk in that. Like, surely he could just like be in there going like, yeah, no, do this.
No, they put him in stasis lock.
Yeah, no, we have to beam his head onto the table and make a big blue head for Dinobot to talk to.
I mean, Megatron hit him pretty hard.
He did. It's like a weird extra phase in the writing. This is like, okay, I just presume that you just have, oh yeah, you can talk while being regened. And then we could just both sit there going, we should do something. Okay, we'll do something.
Yeah. Plug him in.
Plug him in.
Just put him on the charging dock.
I mean, yeah. It's nothing, but it's also not the gnarliest recovery we've seen so far in Beast Wars. And I'm aware we're only like 8 episodes in. You know, what Megatron went through last week was worse.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was about time that Optimus kind of, does what Optimus does, talking about, which is to say, die.
Die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just realized the revitalization chamber and the blue head are basically Optimus Prime being used like a switch. Dinobot put him in the dock, so he's now on the screen.
Yeah. That's what Dinobot does.
He's out of handheld mode. His frame rate is slightly higher.
I do want to talk a little bit about Pterosaur in these episodes because I love that Pterosaur is going to get so much focus in this season, and that's all going to go out the window. Like Pterosaur is getting so much screen time, and it's all going to go out the window very quickly. But I forgot how much I liked this character, like how weird and goofy and just like a semi Starscream he is without actually being good at the Starscream stuff.
I am glad that the voice actor has seemingly dropped the habit of screaming when he transforms. He now just does, because it was cool, but I was like, oh, that would kill your voice. Like, you're recording like usually like 4 or 5 of these in a day, that would shred your vocal cords like if you weren't careful. So I'm glad either someone stopped him or he was like, I can't keep going with this.
Yeah. No Sean Schemmel here. But what do we think? I mean, Pterosaur, and I touched on this earlier.
Pterosaur.
He makes another bid for the crown, man. He makes another bid for the Predacon crown. And like you were saying, Megatron just kind of lets him have it.
I like the implications, how Megatron is like, this is like a weekly thing. It's just like, this is just like what we do. It's like, yeah, it's a Tuesday. What? Like they have like a little rota.
It's Decepticon cultural practice, right? You know, it's very like Klingon promotion style. You know, Megatron has fallen. I am now the leader of the Decepticons, right? Like this is a grand tradition for Decepticon Predacon tradition, right? I do have to admit, one thing I really love with Megatron specifically is when he talks in dinosaur form and he moves his little hands around. Like his little hands doing so much acting is so fun.
We get some really goofy animal. Like I love Rat Trap riding on Rhinox's back again. It's just the two models stuck together.
It's so goofy. Like There's just something when Megatron is trying to appeal to Dinobot, being like, "Do it!" Like with the little. It's so good.
Yeah.
Uh, I
It's very
also
kawaii.
Yeah,
oh,
Kawaii Megatron in his dino form.
has
She's cute. She is kawaii.
have
Yeah.
they done a Hello? They must have done a Hello Kitty's Transformer at some point. They don't know Hello
Oh,
Kitty Gundam.
oh yeah,
I
that
say,
was ages ago.
Does Megatron turn into Chromie, or was it before then?
I think I can't remember who Megatron got paired up with. I think Kuromi got paired up with either Kuromi got paired up with Starscream or Shockwave. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that they did one of these because like Hello Kitty was with Optimus and like Cinnamon Roll was with Bumblebee, if I recall correctly. So, man, I gotta Google this now.
They've done several of them. Apparently, My Melody becomes a dump truck, which is bizarrely hilarious. I don't know
love
why I'm
that.
looking at this because I already know that the Chrome one is going to be infinitely expensive, and I'm never going to be able to afford it.
It's true.
I will say
There's
that the Beast War toys are surprisingly expensive, even out of box. I was looking to get a Waspinator as a joke, and it's like, nope, not that much of money.
Yeah.
oh yeah, like 2 years ago, I sold an out of box Cheetor for like $350.
Yeah.
Like,
The Big Bad Toy Store just did a Tigatron, which looks really nice, but I'm not willing to, as cool as Tigatron is in his debut, coming out of his white tiger form, not looking to spend hundreds of dollars on a Tigatron.
Like that just to talk about the collection aspect of this really quick, because I do collect Transformers. I have a bunch of really cool ones, some that I've gotten valued at pretty high prices. Like I have an original metal casting of Soundwave that if I wanted to, I could probably sell it out of box for like $700, right? Like there are people who will collect these. The Beast Wars toys, since in the last like 10 years, have gotten very expensive. Like I know that I think Waspinator is probably one of the more expensive ones, actually, if I'm thinking about it. But Dinobot, you can't even get your hand on Dinobot anymore. Dinobot, you cannot get your hands on those.
What about Blackarachnia? I'm sure all those sickos out there want some Blackarachnia.
you
Those
can, but
sickos.
she comes in a jar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, I feel bad making that joke. Don't
So
Google that.
I will tell you, for anybody who's interested, there is one Transformer that I want for my collection that I will never be able to afford. And it is the original casting of Skyfire before they had to change him to Jetfire due to copyright issues. Like
No.
it,
I always liked Megatron Gun.
Megatron Gun, you can find really good Japanese repros of the original casting. Like there's a Japanese company that does really great repros of the originals. Like I have a tracks from them. I have a couple of the Praxian designs from them. They're pretty cool. But man, oh man, those Beast Wars toys, forget about it. Optimus might be the cheapest one, actually.
From what I saw, just me scanning local eBay, Optimus was. And I was like, yeah, this be funny. Not that funny. The joke isn't funny enough. Just talk about collecting. I noticed we've got a new gimmick in the show now of people cutting rocks off to fall on other people. We do it about 3 times, and Waspinator gets it 2 of those times. It's amazing. Optimus Prime gets shot once, has to go sit down. Waspinator gets crushed twice. He's fine. This proves one thing. All about attitude. If you stop being whiny, you don't get hurt.
That's because Waspinator is God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He went back. He's like Ultimate Madoka. He went back through time to protect himself.
Waspinator is singularly the most important character.
I'm getting that, and it's both enchanting and worrying. As we come to the end, I do want to point out one of the funniest things to me in this episode. So I mentioned last episode we changed to cycles for our mention of time. We're going to Transformers units. We've immediately stopped doing that. Weirdly, Fallen Comrades starts using normal metric units again, but then Double Jeopardy starts using Imperial units. So Transformers are apparently just very open when it comes to counting systems. It's just so weird. Like, oh, I guess someone decided that, yeah, Transformers use feet and inches now. They use the King's units.
It's weird too, right? Because like the company that made this is Mainframe Productions, which is a Canadian company, but then Transformers is a very American franchise, and then you have your internal stuff. So I think that you got to imagine there's got to be a lot of internal debate around this sort of thing.
Oh yeah, it's also just one of the things. It could be just individual writers and no one picking up on it, but it's just really funny because it's just like, oh, we've literally gone from normal to Transformers special, back to normal, then to another form of normal. Uh, the ultimate thing for me is being Canadian production is the start of Fallen Comrades. Optimus calls everybody buds. Let's go, buds. It's like, oh, is he from Regina? He's from the prairies. We're gonna go out for a rip, are we, Cheetor? Like,
What is that?
when you just go around driving, doing nothing in the prairie in Saskatchewan, it's called going out for a rip. There is nothing to do in Saskatchewan. To quote a very old joke, Saskatchewan is so flat you can watch your dog run away for 3 days.
I like that. So, do we have any final thoughts, my friends?
I have a confession.
Oh.
I think I'm falling in love with Beast Wars, and it worries me.
Yes! I knew I was going to get
the
one of
sheer amount of nonsense these episodes are throwing at you. I think you said it like last episode. It's always better for something to be, if it's something's not going to be good, it's better for it to be exciting than boring. Transformers is that it's got issues up the wazoo, but the sheer amount of nonsense they're willing to throw at you is so funny. I can't stop watching. I find myself looking forward to these episodes just to see what wacky things they've come up with this week. Like, what we're going to get a microwave transformer? Is Rat Trap going to like do a bit of soft shoe?
There's always G1, John. You can always go back to G1.
I'm gonna get you next, Sam. I'm gonna get you next.
I've seen a lot of the 80s stuff. I mean, this is, and like I said, I've seen episodes here and there of Beast Wars because, yeah, it was on Toonami. Like that was the thing. It was like, I'm trying to remember what I had to sit through Beast Wars to get to. There was something on the other side of that tunnel.
The future.
The future. Beast Machines was on the other side of that tunnel.
You were like Clockwork Orange through Beast Wars. What was Beast Wars? Beast Wars ran for so long, it was against nearly everything. It may have been Dragon Ball.
It might have been Dragon Ball.
That sounds about right. Is
that your final thought?
My final thought is I'm really glad Tigatron's here, but then because everything must be perfectly balanced, as all things should. That means we also get Blackarachnia, who maybe we'll see both of, I guess, in the relatively near future.
That is true. And I love Transformers. I will never stop loving Transformers. It will always be my Blorbo franchise. I do like the shift that's happening in these two episodes. Like, we're starting to get the more consistent characterizations around the characters. Like, we're starting to solidify some of my favorite little tropes. We're also getting, more spiders, which I feel terrible about now. I genuinely feel bad about that. If I had known, I would have been like, oh no. But yeah,
all the Transformers shows we watch the ones with spiders.
All of them are gonna have spiders. Like, that's the problem. Spiders translate really well into being robots. It's weird. But that does mean that we've pulled into our final destination. That's right, it is time to disembark from Toonami Absolution. We want to thank you once again for joining us and talking about the shows that clearly made me me, and made us us, and made you you. Once again, we've been your hosts. My name is Alyx.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John.
And we'll see you next time. Bang.
Roll out.
Roll out.